Ayo hatchlings, it's llaৰীষ্টr photos and I'm back here for a spooky video because I'm here to tell you guys how I celebrate Samhain as a Draconic witch. If you can't tell by the horns and pumpkins, it's super festive over here, so I hope you guys are having a super duper spooky season. Are you excited for Halloween? I'm so freaking hyped for Halloween. It's not even funny. To celebrate, I wanted to talk to you guys about how I celebrate as a Draconic witch, because I don't celebrate Samhain in the traditional sense because I put a little bit of a Draconic twist on it. So I wanted to tell you guys like 9 different things that are different for my practice as opposed to like the traditional Samhain, if you will. So if that's something that interests you, then keep on watching, but don't forget that if you're new, hey, hi, hello, my name is ppǝssǝlq. I post new videos every week and they're magical. And we rockin' with the dragons, so if you're into that, then don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below and join the Hatchling clan because we are your fam now. You cannot escape us. We are here. We are queer. And even if you're not, you're still welcome here. Anyway, with that being said, let's jump on into the video. But before we get into the video, can we just get a little commotion for like the pumpkins? Cause like, oh my god, it's like fuzzy pumpkins. I'm so hyped. So if you'd like to see the full fuzzy pumpkin set, you can go check out my fan sites linked down below. If you are 18 and older, because you must be an adult for the sexy spooky fun time. But with that being said, we're gonna talk about dragons because dragons are the shit, right? And what could be better than dragons in Halloween? Nothing. So, contrary to probably most of your Halloween plans, unless you're like me and you're super introverted and you really just can't handle humans, hi, welcome to the family. For one, of how my practice is different as a Draconic witch when it comes to Samhain is every Samhain, I want to spend it alone for my ritual. Sometimes I'll go to do like, you know, other things with like other people I have in the past, and these hairs are really stuck on my lashes and driving me crazy. Nowadays, I really kind of don't like spending Halloween and Samhain with anyone actually. And the reason for that is because, drumroll please, when I celebrate Samhain, it's all about reflection and reviewing the year that has passed in preparation for the new year that is to come. As some of you may know or may not know, Samhain is also known as the Witch's New Year, and I personally celebrate it and view it as my new year. So any of y'all witches out there who were like the same, who were like, oh my gosh, it's the new year, then happy new year to all of you wonderful, beautiful beings out there. But the reason why I like to celebrate this new year, if you will, alone is because I am the most important in my life, and everyone should be the most important in their life, no questions asked, full stop. And I do this in order to celebrate myself, but also to reflect, review, and kind of go through the rebirth process without any external influences. So when I have been to group rituals for Samhain, I was very easily influenced, and I think a part of this has to do with the fact that when I went to more group rituals, I was like a lot younger, like 16 to 21 was like when I did that most of the time. But now I don't want anything to do with anyone else's energy on Samhain. I want me, myself, and I, my guardians, and my past loved ones. It's very much an intimate ritual that is the most important one of the entire year for me. It is the single most important night in my practice and in my craft, and it always has been that way even before I knew I was a witch. So that is why I like to celebrate it alone. You don't have to celebrate Samhain alone, but for me as a Draconic witch, it is a time to go into the darkness to become the light again. What is another reason, another way that my practice differentiates, I think that's the word, from a regular Samhain practice? Well, here's number 2. Samhain is a big rededication and reinitiation into my practice. It is kind of like a yearly checkup, if you will, kind of being like, hey dragons, just let you know, I'm still in this bitch, I'm still doing this shiz, you know what I mean? Like, we're still here, we're still doing it, you know what I mean? And it's just kind of a way for me to call upon all of the dragons in the universe. Yes, you heard me correctly. I call upon every single dragon in existence to witness me reinitiating myself. And any dragons that do not have good intentions, because again, you know, dragons are like people. We all got different personalities, different motives and whatever, but the dragons that do not have good intentions for me or are not welcome for me are always kept away by the guardians who watch over me. And it's always been that way, and I've always had faith, and I've always felt that. Dragons, again, are the fiercest protectors, and that even comes to when they're defending you against other dragons or others of their kind. Yes, it's very true. They will fight each other to protect you, especially if somebody is sending their dragons after you. But why would they do that in the first place? Anyway, that's a little bit of a tangent, but I just wanted to put that in there in case you guys like, why are you calling upon all the dragons in the universe? Duh, they're not even all that good. What are you doing, dumb bitch? No, I'm not. Okay, I know this. And that's why I make sure that only the dragon guardians that are willing to witness me for my highest good and my highest evolution are welcome in my space. I don't really know about you, but if you've never had a Samhain ritual or a Samhain celebration without dragons involved, you're really missing out. Just saying! Numero 3. We are on number 3 of why my practice or how my practice is different from a regular Samhain celebration. So this one might be a little uncomfortable for some of you, but it is very, very important and very, very sacred in my practice. I call upon the dragon god of death. Yes, I do. You heard me correctly. I call upon the dragon god of death, my friends. I didn't find any information online about the dragon god of death. Even if I did, I don't think I trust it because there's a really blurry line between like fantasy video game dragon lore and like actual historical dragon stuff. So do with that information what you will. But I call upon the dragon god of death to join me in my circle and bring all of my past loved ones with them to celebrate the night to me and to share space together and to communion together and to have a great old night together. And that is that is one of the I'm too hyped. That is one of the most sacred aspects of this Samhain celebration, is literally welcoming the dragon god of death into my circle and into my space. I am not afraid of death. I mean, I am on like a physiological level, but like it's more of like I have a deep respect for death, and I have seen many people struggle and die in my life. Trigger warning, I'm sorry, I should have said that earlier, for death and all of that and loss and grief and stuff. But Death and I are very old friends, and I have called upon death very many times to take the suffering away, specifically from, you know, animals and whatnot. So with that being said, Dragon God of Death is invited into my circle. Have you ever worked with the Dragon God of Death? Let me know in the comment section below. Number 4 of why my practices might be a little bit different than your traditional Samhain celebration. Maybe this is actually a little bit similar to what you guys might do, but I like to leave an offering dish outside, preferably outside in nature if I can go to nature. If not, I do it like as close to nature as possible. So if that means in my backyard and like the vines that I have and the ivy that I have, I will do it that way. But I prefer to do it, you know, in the mountains. That's my preferred method of giving offerings. But I bless the offerings for the dragon guardians specifically. It is not for any other spirits. I might do offerings for other spirits, but for the most part, I do offerings to the dragon guardians on Samhain night. That is like the main priority, other than, you know, my loved ones, you know, but it's like all the same, you know, like especially when I call him the dragon god of death, like my offerings are for him and his, you know, in the world of the dead. I leave offerings to the dragon guardians that are blessed with my love and protection. I view the dragons and the relationship that I have with dragons as a very symbiotic relationship. They protect me, I protect them. They love me, I love them. They help me in my magic, I help them with their magic. You might disagree with that. That's totally cool. I'm just here to share my experience and my perspective in case you are looking more into practicing draconic magic or working more with dragons and wanting to find more specific ways to incorporate dragons in maybe your already witchy practices. So that's just what this is for, but take or leave whatever you want. If it's not for you, then it's not for you, and that's totally fine, girl. Thanks for watching and clicking anyway. I appreciate you. I love you. Okay, number 5, and this is moving more towards like the ritual aspect of my practice for Samhain, and I will open a circle, open like a ritual space, and call upon the dragon guardians to protect me through, you know, the night, with the night being at the veil being its thinnest, but also I call upon them to protect me in the year to come and to aid in protection of my home and my household and myself and my spirit, my mind especially. You know, for those of you guys who struggle with mental illnesses, please, when you do your protection, make room for prioritizing your mental health and your protection practices. Like, say that shit verbatim. My mental health is protected by the dragon guardians, if you must, to really feel it. But this is a huge part, it's all about protection for this night. I feel like it is the most important part of Samhain, is putting protection as the priority, the top priority. It is the pinnacle of necessity for your practice, because especially for invoking, dragons into your circle, they can be very, very intense, and there are a lot of dark things that like to masquerade as dragons, because dragons have a bad rep among humans for being the devil. Thank you, Christianity and Catholicism. But we won't get into that in this video. It's great to use protection to understand and know the difference. If you are very tuned in with your intuition and you trust your intuition, it will be much easier for you to discern the difference between an actual dragon and someone who's playing pretend. The best way that I can describe this to you, to know the difference, is that dragons, more often than not, will not speak to you. They will just be there. I don't have a word for it. They're just like I don't want to call them omnipotent, because I feel like that's not the right word, but they're just like silent watchers, and they only speak to you like when you really need to hear it. I don't know, like everyone's experience is different. Like, I personally have never really had a dragon speak to me in English, if that makes sense. Like, when I speak to dragons, I speak to them in English. I'll tell them about my day and, talk to them that way and like express my prayers and gratitude in, the language that I know, which is English. But I never get like, dragon feather, you must do this. Like, it's a feeling I get in my gut, So that's the best way that I can describe that. This is into the actual ritual part of my practice. Whoop! I almost lost my balance. The actual part of my practice that is probably the biggest ritual-based thing that I do for Samhain. And warning, please don't do this. Please don't do this if you are new, because it is an incredibly life-changing, painful process. So let me explain. I have this ritual that I perform with the dragons called setting myself on fire. And essentially what that is in a ritual space, I will call upon the dragon guardians to set my soul and spirit on divine dragon fire. And this is to burn away anything that's no longer serving me, to burn away any negativity, any energies that were sent my way. If anyone has cursed or hexed me, it destroys that shit instantaneously. You can't even fuck with divine dragon fire. Like, don't even try. Don't even try. You can't do it. You're just a human, you dumb bitch. I call upon them to just basically eradicate anything that's blocking my blessings, to make room for the new year that is to come. And this is why I said warning, because this ritual, once you start it, once you ask the dragons to literally set your soul on fire, it is a very brutal and violent process sometimes. And this is why I don't recommend it for beginners, because it will change your life, and sometimes this process can last years. So please, please, please do not just do this because you heard Dragon Mother talk about it. Oh my god, I'm like setting my soul on fire because like Dragon Mother said it was cool. Like, no, like if you want me to go more into depth about this type of ritual, I'm more than happy to do that. I won't give you my specific personal ritual, but I can create one as an example for anyone who watches to kind of like know how to deal with the situation. Because again, if especially you're not in a mentally stable place, if you are struggling in other aspects of your life, you do not want to do this because it will literally turn your life upside down. But if you're ready for that, then like that's your call. Like that's your call. But like if you're not ready for that, do not do this. But this is part of my practice that I wanted to share with you because it is, again, one of the most important, pivotal parts of my practice as a Draconic witch on Samhain. Moving along to number 7. After I do this ritual, the setting my soul on fire, I'll like take a minute to ground, obviously, you know, sit in what I experienced, maybe journal a little bit. But after all of the like, you know, bits and bobs are done and all the bells and whistles are tied, then I will do a freestyle dance and singing in honor of whoever's in my circle that night. So I will, you know, give the dance and give the singing to the dragons as an offering. It's one of my favorite things to do, and it's one of their favorite offerings from me personally. And again, everybody, the way they worship is different. You know, what works for me and what's the best for me might not be the best for you, and it's important to remember that. And it's important to remember as well that just because you don't celebrate Samhain like I do doesn't mean you're not like a legit Draconic witch. Like, shut the fuck up. Like, no one else has any business telling you if you're legit or not. Like, just know. Like, in spirituality, like, you keep to yourself. Like, if it works for you, that's cool. But the moment you try and start telling somebody that this is how it has to be done, that is a little too preachy and kind of getting into like the whole indoctrination religion type of organized bullshit that we don't want and we left for a reason. So that's why it's really important to remember that if these don't work for you, then it doesn't mean that you're doing it wrong, it doesn't mean that you're a failure, and it doesn't mean that you're not a Draconic witch. It just means that my methods don't work for you, and that's totally cool. Like, that's totally fine. But for me, I love to dance and I love to sing, and it's like a freestyle. So it's like I have nothing planned. I have no idea what I'm doing. Sometimes I have music, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I am a music bitch. I literally just, you know, get in my body and feel it and give the energy to them. It's just an act of raising energy for, my past loved ones and the guardians within my circle. Probably the most fun part of the entire ritual, so just so you know. So we have number 8 now, and that is probably something that you may have done in your practice. It's a little more of a traditional Samhain practice, but that is what I love to do, is having a silent supper. So if you do not know what a silent supper is, I do have videos on it from previous 31 days of Samhain videos. But a silent supper is essentially when you have supper in silence, or you have dinner in silence at your dinner table or wherever you want to, with plates of food for your past loved ones, and you eat in silence with them at the table. It's a very sacred, sometimes very emotional experience, especially if the deaths that you've experienced or the ones who have passed in your life are new. I really struggled last year because my cat passed away. After Halloween, but during Halloween she was really like struggling for her life. It was really depressing. Last year I really kind of just checked out because I just was grieving the loss of my best friend, and that is totally okay. Like, if you're going through a position where you can't do an elaborate ritual like I'm talking about, even I can't do this ritual all the time. Even I can't do every single step of it all the time, and each year it's a little bit different, and it's okay. You gotta give yourself that, you know, room, that wiggle room. You gotta have it, you know? I do my silent supper with my loved ones, but my little twist on it is I also invite my guardians to the table as well. So I will, you know, put out offering dishes for my guardians, and each guardian that I work with are the ones who I invoke, you know? I will leave a plate out for the guardians that I have yet to meet, or the ones who are simply watching over me that do not make themselves known to me. I leave something out to them as well. But I will tailor, you know, like certain plates or offering dishes specifically to each guardian, just like I do for each loved one. I'll make them, you know, their favorite foods or what have you. For example, for my cat, I would have like a bunch of treats and tuna. She loved that. And cantaloupe. I don't know why that cat loved cantaloupe, but I give it to her. And then I will do like a Thanksgiving dinner type of thing for, like, you know, some of my family members that passed, or I would get them their favorite beer, you know, like I might not drink, but I'll get them, you know, their favorite beer if they like Twindell or whatever. And then after the silent supper, I will go ahead and pour it out on the ground as a libation to them. That is like kind of the winding down part of my ritual, is the silent supper portion. Last thing I do as a Draconic witch is I like to close my circle and cleanse my entire space with dragon's blood. Now, I am somebody who really struggles to keep my room clean for reasons I am not comfortable sharing in this video, but sometimes I am not able to, you know, scrub down the whole room and the whole everything and deep cleanse it, although that is the intention. I like to do as much as I possibly can, but again, I'm doing this for for me, it's not something like, oh, if you don't do this, you're a shitty person, because I have those thoughts and it sucks. And I just do my best to make sure that, like, you know, the top priority things are clean, you know, like take the trash out, make sure the toilet's clean, make sure the sink in the bathtub is clean, and make sure that no dishes are inside. And if I can manage, I will do like laundry and vacuuming and make the bed. And, you know, I'm literally getting anxious talking about doing all of the things because I literally struggle so much with it. If you struggle with keeping your room clean, no, you are not lazy. You are not lazy, okay? You just might have been through some shit, and that doesn't mean you're less than anyone else. That's all I have to say on that. But I will cleanse my whole space with dragon's blood incense. I will, you know, cleanse all of my dragon statues and re-imbue the energy for them, because I have, you know, so many of them, and each one is like essentially for a different dragon guardian. And so I take a moment with each statue and I cleanse it with dragon's blood, and I just hold a moment of silence as I imbue that statue with intention and love and purpose for them as their sacred, you know, like their sacred, you know, home, I guess. Like, it's something, it's like a gift to them, you know, it's on my altar, but it's for them, and I just recharge it every so often, and every Samhain is one of those every so often moments. And that is how my practice for Samhain and my Samhain celebration is a little bit different as a Draconic witch than, say, the traditional Witch's New Year. So I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you'd like to learn a little bit more about how I, you know, do this practice, or a little bit more tips on how I make my Samhain practice more of a Draconic practice than just like a regular Samhain celebration, you can check out my post in the Hatchling Clan link down below for more information. And of course, if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them in the comment section down below, and I would love to get back to you as soon as I can and answer as many as I possibly can. So don't be shy, leave your questions if you have them. I'm here to help you. I'm here to, you know, like inform you about my dragon shenanigans if you're interested. But yeah, let me know in the comments below how you connect with your dragon guardians during Samhain. If that's something that you do, I would absolutely love to learn more, because it's like really hard to find information about this. So let's make this video a resource section for anyone who is looking, if they can. And if you have any resources, please leave a link down below so we can all enjoy it. You guys are having a super spooky special season, and like I said in my previous video, I have some exciting news coming for you on Halloween, so please do not miss that, and hit that notification bell so you absolutely won't miss it. And I will also post it on my community tab and in other places that I am lurking around the internet too, if you are interested in following me there. All the links are down below as always. But I just wanted to give you guys my love for today and let you guys know that you are so special and you are so loved, and the dragon guardians are watching over you whether you realize it or not. And even if you feel like your dragon guardian hasn't reached out to you or hasn't connected with you yet, or if you have more than one guardians and you feel like they may have abandoned you, I'm just here to remind you that they have not. The only reason why you feel that way is because of your perception of reality, and they're always going to be there with you. They are you, you are them. Excuse me, I'm just like so hyped about this. My voice is like, girl, slow down. Just want you to know that, like, your guardians are with you. Like, I'm here to remind you that, in case you needed to know. I don't know who needed to hear that, but I just want you to know the dragons are with you and they're here for you, and they're just waiting for you to reach out. Thank you so much for watching this video. As always, I love you so very much. I'm so excited to be back creating content. It's been a minute, but your girl has done the fucking work and she's feeling like fire. Okay. Until next time, stay freaky, little hatchling. Oh yeah. But blessed be and bye. And stay weird, bitches. Ah.